I'm Peter Santa Maria. I'm one of the senior creative directors at Mondo. Nice to meet you guys.
I'm Jordan Christensen. I'm the product designer, so all the packaging, all that kind of stuff that most people throw away. I don't want you to.
People do not throw away their stuff. Hi everyone, I'm Hector Arce. I'm senior creative director here at Mondo.
That's not your real title. Say your whole title.
Yeah.
It's a sentence.
It's a sentence.
Your whole title.
I love the escalation of humbling. You guys are like, yeah, you know, they throw my stuff. Senior creative director, I just work here. It's fine.
I'm just here. I've been here for a while. That's
Files the paperwork.
Yeah, it's just things.
Well, before we get into the future, because I know everybody's wondering about things to come, and that's the fun of New York Comic Con, I do want to talk about the now, the right now. What can folks expect to find at the Mondo booth this very moment? Do not leave early, but what can they find going on down there right now?
I mean, Mondo has a history built around, original art, screen printed posters. That's where the company got its start. So what better way to start than talk about the great exclusive posters we have at the booth? We have some great repros. The Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #8. Now, Coy, let me ask you, because I've been fumbling with this. There's this one, there's Amazing Spider-Man 252, which is the real, true first appearance of the black suit, canonically and then publishing.
So canonically and publishing, this appeared 7 months earlier. So this one.
Yeah.
So this is the actual first appearance, and then 252 is the first one in mainstream continuity outside of this is considered canon now, but at the time they weren't sure if it was going to be just like, oh, let's see how the event goes. And then 252 is the first appearance mainstream, and then most people think the first appearance of Venom is in 300, but it's the last panel at 299.
Hey!
Now we know.
If you needed another reason to subscribe to Coy's channel.
I just want to make it clear, those 40 issues very important, but this is where it all began, and arguably, how cool is it to remake something and bring attention back to something the way you guys do, than something that they were like, maybe it'll do okay. And
no, it's awesome. It's literally like one of those comics that we grew up just like, with all this mystique. The black suit was everything when we were kids, for sure.
Yeah, it was like it was my favorite.
Yeah. So, the reproductions that we do on these comics is very, it's very laborious. We have a great art director and technician, John Smith, who takes these high-res files that we get from Marvel, from DC, and breaks them down, separates every color, preserves every bit of texture that he can. And for me, just seeing a comic book cover with all the trade dress, the number box, the title blown up 24 by 36 is the coolest thing. It's the absolute coolest thing.
it also, like you guys are all create, it also shows how much artistry goes into it, and I love that you guys are so passionate about making sure that's in display.
100%, yeah. And then next to it, The Goonies by Dan Hipp was supposed to be here at the booth, but UPS lost that one in the sauce. So you'll see it on our site soon. Yeah.
Sauce and train.
Beautiful.
Hopefully it gets here before the end of the show.
This is a beautiful variant of our Ninja Turtles San Diego Comic-Con exclusive poster by Aaron Connolly. This one's exclusive to New York. It has, it's a black and white variant. It's a true scan of Aaron's inks and pencil work. So when you see it up close, you see a lot of that handmade mark making. It's, you know, when we talked to Aaron about doing this poster, we're like, dude, give us your take on George Perez doing the Turtles, basically. And so it's just like one and done poster. If you only have one turtle poster in your collection, like, it's a great one, and it pairs well with the turtle figures you'll hear us talk about later on. And then this is, again, sticking with the New York theme that's loosely tied into all of these, The Warriors by Dave Arcade. This is rad. He's going to be at our booth later today, but this is an amazing poster, brand new piece of artwork originally created for Mondo. First time Dave Arcade works with us. By the way, what a cool name, Dave Arcade.
I know. I mean, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I have a name like Hector.
I know. Yeah. His brother's Melvin Arcade is not as cool, but like, and Dave Arcade's great. So yeah, this one feels like you're in a pinball machine, in my opinion. Like, I feel like you're in a Warriors pinball machine. It's got so many great Easter eggs. It's like a classic Mondo poster. Available at the booth. And like we said, Dave will be at the booth today, signing at 3 o'clock. So come by, pick up a poster, and meet Dave. He's really great.
Yeah, he's super nice. So you guys come down and say hi to him.
I did want to talk about some of the signings. What booth number are we at?
Booth 1000. It's the first booth on the floor plan. So when you come in, it's all the way to the left. You're going to see an airport. It's behind the airport.
I love how every sentence sounds more and more fake. You're like, we got this guy, Dave Arcade, maybe this find the airport, booth 1000.
Booth 1000 in the back.
It's the airport alley. Yeah, so really rad stuff there. Our posters are awesome. I'm super proud of them and happy to share them with you guys. And then music, you know, Mondo's known for our vinyl records. We got a great collection on display there. Some stuff that has been hard to get, convention exclusives in the past. We brought a great collection for you guys. Really exciting, we have a signing by Bear McCreary today, later on, 4 o'clock. So right after Dave Arcade, Bear McCreary's gonna come over and kick Dave out of the chair and sit down and sign some great pieces. We got the Rings of Power box set there.
Right.
And Bear is a legend. Like, if you follow, film scores, his stuff is incredible. So getting to meet him in person is rad too, if you're a film fan. Really excited about that.
Now, the signings, everything going on at the booth, everything is always hype in New York Comic Con, and I love the energy of bringing stuff, tangible media especially.
It's the coolest. Yeah, it's the coolest thing, and I'm someone who grew up going to conventions. I lived in Miami. The entertainment industry was very remote from where I was, so going to convention is the only way I could meet people who had jobs in the field I wanted to be in. So like getting to meet them, saying, look, see if I can glean anything off the conversation, and like that would inspire me to like, okay, there is a job here, I can do this, it's cool.
Go a bit off script, but we're talking about signings, we're talking about cons. Do you guys have any favorite con memories since Mondo started? Because this company has grown so incredibly about like, you're actually giving people things. And we joked about streaming and digital, but like any favorite memories of those?
I have a good one. So I used to be the guy in line for Mondo, like 7 years ago, like waiting at Comic-Con, when we had the smaller booth in the back. And it was a huge line, and I was, just hoping I could get a poster. And I just remember they had they had made some space for people to walk through, and I happened to step over the line that they had marked on the floor. One of the guys who used to work there came at me and he was like, "Sir, you need to step behind that line right now." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then he was like giving us posters and stuff like that, and I was just like, I offended the Mondo people. I feel so bad. I'll never get a job here. And well, yeah. So that's one of my favorites, just because of the weird, full circle moment of being there, wanting the Mondo stuff, and then now being here. It's surreal to this day. So.
The Mondo gods were angered, but they forget.
They were angry, yeah. They were like, dude, do not step over that line.
What about you? Con memories?
Con memories, man.
I usually work them, so I don't have many memories.
Just blacks out of the booth.
It's just a blur for you.
What about you?
I'm pretty new to cons, so I don't have a lot of memories yet, though.
How about when you like surprise cameoed at our Comic-Con booth? You just like, come on down.
Yeah.
Or a surprise panel appearances.
Yes. Alex Brewer and Jim Lee, surprise guests.
Yes.
Sitting in Jim Lee's seat.
It was warm.
That was an amazing thing, though.
That was cool.
Sharing at Comic-Con last year, sharing the stage with Jim Lee was incredible.
It's always so surreal to see people from Wizard like printed out. Like, you're in 3D.
My favorite memory is like last night. We had a great party at the barcade.
Oh, yeah.
With all of our friends. It's almost like whatever the most recent memory is my most favorite memory. This company's amazing. Working with these people is amazing, and it's like every day. Like, I wonder what cool thing is gonna happen today. There's always something cool. So yeah, barcade last night was awesome.
So New York Comic Con is also known for its variants, and I think it's really important to dive into the variations. And I think you guys have some certain turtles in a half shell and some new variants for them we want to share.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool soft vinyl stuff actually coming up. Before we move on to it, I just want to give a shout out to our in-house artist, Nolan Fleming. He's an amazing designer. He couldn't be here today because he's got 2 small children. He came to Comic-Con and spent a week with us in San Diego, and when he went back, he had a lot of explaining to do while he was gone for a week, leaving his wife with 2 small kids. But he's the man. He designed our booth. So if you see how awesome our booth looks, it's the best booth on the show floor, not close. And then the apparel, the shirts, the pins, all that great stuff is all based around that. Yeah, the shirt, you can come pick these up. We're back in apparel now. We're doing new apparel for all the cons we're doing. It's just awesome because he just cranks out great stuff. So shout out to Nolan. You can follow him online, Consume Design. He's awesome. So yeah, all right, soft vinyl stuff. Oh, and we got some like rare pieces that we dug out of the warehouse. I read online, they always have a warehouse find. Very weird. It is
Not
not
even secret stashes, that's all.
It's like
It's a Disney vault. It's
we don't bring everything to every show, but we bring a few little pieces to every show to give people a chance. But yeah, you can get some of these. Some of them are already sold out.
Gambit and Harley are sold out, so.
Yeah, but you can get Scareglow, Trapjaw, and Takaro at the booth.
Takaro, which is a character created by Peter. there.
Pretty
so
cool.
if you haven't met Takaro, you should come to our booth
And talk to the toy.
yeah, talk to the toy. He has tentacles. He's very nice.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some good stuff. But yeah, talking about soft vinyl, we're super stoked, Koi, because Hector and I have a long history of being Sofubi fans, right? So like soft vinyl toys that originated back in Japan in the 60s and 70s, made very robust so that kids couldn't break them, so parents
Throw them across the room.
Yeah. And then over the years, obviously, they become like these very sought-out, high-end collector items, right? Because they were hard to find and rare. And now it's an aesthetic. So we decided to revisit these icons from American Werewolf in London and Halloween, and look at them through the lens of that, retro Japanese stylization. So it's like if they designed toys for Michael Myers in the 70s in Japan. That's our goal with these. So we're super stoked. They're at the booth, and the exclusives for the show are the Blood Moon variants of the American
Correct.
Werewolf
Yeah,
Nightmare Soldiers. If you saw that movie, you're probably still traumatized by that scene.
Yeah, that scene is one of the worst.
So now you can take
Well,
them.
naturally, we made toys of it,
Yeah, so those are there. And then, Koi, you were talking about turtles.
Yeah, that's my variation I wanted to talk about because, man, I love, look at these guys.
Yeah. These are crazy. Alex, this is Alex's brainchild. So we got the Turtles license, and we got a chance to do them in soft vinyl, and Alex designed these. Talk about them a little bit.
It was super fun because, Hector and I, we kind of went back and forth,
Many months.
handing the
Many months.
digital files back. I do a sculpt, and then Hector would move it around, be like, oh, let's try this, and then reworking that. So it was it was quite a process to find these guys. And I think we both knew it when we saw it. That's it. That's the.
Because there's
look.
so much turtle stuff out there. How do you stand apart?
Exactly, but at the same time, we wanted to feel classic, feel like the toys that you remember growing up with, and I think that I'm very pleased with the outcome. It feels great. It feels great to hold.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about, is that when we were kids, these figures felt in our hands a certain way, our child-sized hands, and now, my hands grew a little bit.
A little bit. We got meteor hands.
I don't want to.
I got the stubby fingers. So.
Jordan.
Alex has got the bigger hands.
Oh no, Jordan.
Round of applause for the bigger hands.
On stage.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, and the goal was for these to feel in our adult hands the way the original Playmates toys felt in our child-sized hands. And so they do, and it's like this kind of tactile nostalgia.
Yeah, it was, Alex and I, like he was saying, it was a lot of back and forth of just trying to figure out this blend, because again, like Peter was mentioning earlier, we're really into Sofubi, and these are loosely inspired by that. They are soft vinyl, roto vinyl toys, which is not necessarily new to the turtle format, but the way we attacked it was very nostalgic. So it was a play on the original toys, but how can we soup them up to feel a bit more aggressive, a bit meatier, and it was a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things we've worked on together, and working with Alex on this was a blast.
And these swords are sharp, dude.
They're definitely not kid friendly, I'll tell you that. So, we had a great time. And so the variants.
Yeah, the variant. So the Mirage variants, right?
Yes, the Mirage variants. So we love the original comics, and then the Mirage look is such an iconic look that we figured that in the spirit of Sofubi, with a ton of different color variations that come out throughout the years, that was the first variant that we thought we have to do this.
Yeah. And it's just so cool in this blister package.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, seeing the blister in black and white, obviously the full color looks amazing too, but yeah, I mean, you just get that, it feels like a Mirage, like an early Mirage comic. And also I want to shout out Mark Bristow, who did the paint on this, because his, that line work, that sort of thick to thin line work and all the little black lines describing the form, just looks so comic book accurate, and our production was able to reproduce.
Yeah,
specifically.
it's a challenge to take something that's supposed to look 2D, literally, and make it look 3D and it work.
Yeah, and I think something special, that we do here in tradition of higher end collectible toys, we have painters who are actually painting these things by hand. And then we send those out to our manufacturers, and then they do an amazing job reproducing what we did. But yeah, shout out to Mark Bristow who killed it on the paint.
Literally have the best team in toys. I'm not even kidding. In fact, Jordan, talk about the packaging design process for this. I feel like
That we don't throw away. We
Yeah,
do
yeah.
not throw
Do not throw away the
the
bag.
new controversy is that
Controversy.
yeah, the new controversy is to open or not to open. You know?
For this one, yeah. That's,
And then the same way that they were going through and, it feels good in the hand, like it grew with you, I wanted the packaging to feel the same way. I just supersized, the packaging grew with the figure. I worked with our production facilities. I wanted it to be able to stand so you could have the set together because I'm the kind of kid that I look and I want everything to be perfect. It's like just, So
or
it's the same,
they could go on the wall. Too.
Yes.
you're going up, right. But then also there's that thing in childhood where you have to learn what sadness is and tearing something.
And then we were kind of evil, and we're like, yeah, you're gonna have to tear it open if you really want to get it out.
No, just everything from, the sticker on the front of the package, like all the things that were in the original Turtles, I wanted that to grow up with it. So, and then working with Aaron Connolly again on the artwork.
Yeah, Aaron Connolly, who did the poster with us, also did all the art for the box. And I think if you get to see these in person, you gotta take a look at the artwork on the back. It's literally-
Where's Waldo, Ninja Turtle character?
Yeah, it's my childhood dream pizza party, hanging out with all the Turtles.
I wish I was in there.
Yeah, right? It's really, really good. So yeah, it's just an awesome art piece overall. We're super proud of it, and it's really it's really like a great testament to the team that we have. It's so many hands touch these things.
Yep.
Mondo's a small team, truly, and everyone's very specialized, and we carefully have built our team. The people we bring on board don't only have to be skilled, very skilled, but they also have to have the right energy, the right attitude. The idea that Alex, one of the best sculptors out there, period, is willing to go, hey, Hector, you take a look at this. And then Hector, who's another master, goes, no, Alex, now you take a look at it. And that happens with all of the sculptors, all the painters. It's such a labor of love, and I think it shows with the figures for sure.
Yeah, and then so these are available at the booth. You can buy them all 4 of them in a 4-pack, and we are giving one away today here at this panel. So stay tuned for that.
One set, by the way, not just one turtle.
Yeah, one whole set. You will. A lucky person will get all 4 of them today for free.
Yeah, and that same lucky person will have the luck of carrying around that massive box.
It's a massive box. I'm sorry.
Here, you carry this back.
Well, speaking of turtles.
Speaking of turtles,
So much turtles, which I'm so happy. But before we move on to the next turtle, I just have to say, as someone who kept toys in a box, thank you so much for making sure it stands up. I just when you said that, I was like, that is what I would. KB Toys failed me for a decade.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was always like a lean.
It's just like I couldn't see the top of Venom, or whoever. Just like, what do you want from me?
Yeah. No, it's very thoughtful. So yeah, 100%. Jordan's man.
More turtles.
How about some news?
News.
You're the first to hear
Announcements.
this. Comic-Con
We
exclusive.
have a lot of toy tubers in the crowd, by the way. Cole, I don't know if you know, we have Toyshiz up front over there. One of the people up front, because he doesn't want to be seen. We have YHS in the house. Woo! I think Geek Dad Life is here somewhere, I would imagine. There they are. There he is in the back. Jay is back there. So it's basically a race to see who's going to snap a photo first and post it.
Are you ready?
So do you guys all want to stand up at the same time and like?
She could not cue you up more. This is literally a countdown. 3, 2.
So yes, Mondo's getting back into the 1/6 Turtles game. A lot of people have been asking for it for a long time. Mondo did 1/6 scale Turtles way back in the day. They were more influenced by the original comics.
Yeah, the original one. So Mondo was the first company that did the 1/6 Turtles. Was like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point.
We still get DMs to bring it
Yeah,
again.
every day. However, those were very much inspired by the original comics. But this time, we and the folks over at Paramount that allowed us to actually do what we do best here at Mondo, which is putting our own take on the properties.
Yeah. So if you know what we've done with He-Man, we've upgraded, we've Mondoized them. This is the first look at the concept art for Donatello from our 1/6 scale line.
Best turtle, by the way. Turtle first.
So you can see the idea with this line, like Hector was alluding to, is that we're creating our own take on these characters. It's inspired by everything Turtles. So the movies, the cartoons, the comics, everything. If there was a turtle design on a toothbrush, we can pull from that. And so with this, we're basically creating our own universe, our own lore. It's a realistic take on the Turtles.
Right. Yeah, it's we kind of look at it as like my favorite turtles were the original Jim Henson Turtles, the original movies. Still one of my favorite movies of all time. And so we drew a lot of inspiration from their silhouette, their body shape, everything from them is very classic. So we drew a lot of inspiration from there, and then took it a little further.
Yeah, we're adding in the elements that we're missing from the films, right? Like all the whimsy from the animated series, some of the gadgets that you'd find, references to different things in there. There's a lot of stuff we're not showing you in this concept art that I can't wait for you to see. We're kind of, unofficially like treating each launch like moving a vague story forward, but I think you'll see with the accessories a little glimpse into what's happening into the Mondo TMNT world at the time, and maybe some of the accessories will allude to future.
Well, and that's a good way of putting it, the Mondo TMNT world, because we are creating new characters for this line.
This is what the Funko executive team wants to hear. We are creating a Mondo TMNT.
Yes, but for real, we're creating new little characters, new little things that aren't part of the turtle canon per se. Yeah. So I'm really excited to share that later down the line.
Yeah, and it's a testament to what we've been doing, with Masters of the Universe. We introduced Scaremare, a brand new character, into the actual canon of Masters. So now with Turtles, Paramount's giving us some leeway and saying, all right, let's see what you can do. A little leeway.
Not too much, not too crazy yet.
Yeah,
we're definitely.
We'll get them.
But there's some cool stuff, so yeah, keep an eye out. We're really excited to come back and do Turtles again. And at this scale, they're gonna look amazing. And yeah, just stay tuned because we're gonna do some crazy stuff with this.
Yes, this is huge.
I love that you're building, like, now that's what I call Turtles. Like, you're gathering, like, photorealistic with animated, and you're bringing your own thing. When can folks expect these? These are gorgeous.
Yeah, so we're working hard on them right now. So they're gonna be coming out sometime middle of next year. You can expect to see the first images of the actual prototype and all that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, let's go from these 80s and 90s icons to another set of 80s and 90s icons. All right, photos at the ready? You ready? Yeah! I'm so excited to talk about Ghostbusters because it feels like Ghostbusters are back in such a unique way right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're finally getting our comeuppance as like 80s kids. The Ghostbusters line, I'm so excited about. What can you tell us about this line and why you guys are individually excited for Ghostbusters?
Well, this is what I was saying earlier. This is the line that was never meant to be. So think about how many years, decades even, have passed since this show first aired, and how we never really have had those toys made and produced. And so many great companies have made great Ghostbusters figures, but for some reason, this never happened. And as we were talking about, it was, I think, a year ago, almost to the day.
Yeah, because it was Halloween.
Yeah, and we were all just, I think it was the weekend. And Alex Brewer just posted up these renders of Ghostbuster figures.
Yeah, I was just like, these should exist. Yeah. I just wanted to
I was just working on something over the weekend.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put it out there and be like, hey, wouldn't this be cool? Why don't these exist?
I just imagine you chained to the computer. We got to get you out more. But on the weekend, there's a whole line of figures. And like the greatest figures, and they literally go viral to the point where our head of licensing, it hits us up, Jason Bischoff, a huge Ghostbusters fan, and he's like,
shout out to Jason.
Yeah, shout out to Jason, amazing work getting this done. And he's like, you guys, we're doing this, right? And we're like, oh no, can we?
He sends me a message and he's like, this is happening, right? I'm like, well, you tell me. Let's go.
So, so began the conversation to get it going, and thanks to our partners over at Sony, and they've been great with us and allowing us to produce these. You guys have seen the prototypes at Comic-Con San Diego, so we want to show you some new stuff that we haven't showed yet. Some teases here. So here's Ray for the first time on display with a silhouette.
I know.
Are we going to try to have some people guess who this is?
Does anybody
want to guess?
Yeah, this is fun.
Any Ghostbuster fans here? We can't officially say, but maybe you can.
We'll keep our faces blank so as to not confirm.
Is that like a vase with hands? I don't know.
No. All right.
Who knows?
It's always Slimer.
Yeah. His name rhymes with Lister Mash. So, okay, next one. Here's Winston with another mysterious silhouette that he'll be coming with in his 2-pack. So you can, who's this? The Sandman, yes, yeah. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I'll confirm it.
And confirm it or not.
Peter's poker face. Peter's like, I'm gonna say yes or no.
That looks like a guy with a house for a head. From here. So Yeah, so we're definitely want to confirm that we're doing all 4 Ghostbusters, of course.
Yes.
And they'll be available in 2-packs like the ones you've seen.
Yeah, and then before we get to the next one, the whole fun of this line is that we get to explore all the amazing ghosts that were in that show that never got action figures before, especially this character and the one before. They're just
Mr. Bash.
It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait for you guys to see the actual sculpts because Alex has already started working on them.
They're awesome.
And they look great.
So yeah, here's another just a mystery silhouette for you guys.
Maybe you guys can guess.
asking who else we're going to be doing in this line.
There she is.
So yeah, if you know who that is, then you know our goal with this line is to really give you guys the most important core characters that you want, right? As many of the ghosts as we can get in there. And you know, if we never get a chance to work on it again, we want to make sure we leave our mark, right?
If you guys want
Yeah, this
more
character
real
in particular
Ghostbusters, tell
is
them in the
going to be
comments.
a lot of fun to work on. And again, I've seen Alex's sculpts for it, and they're amazing. So
Perfect.
And this version is long overdue in action figure forms.
right, it's never. Yeah, I don't think it's ever come out. Right, this will be the first official mystery. Mystery.
I love that you guys are actually such fans of this that you're excited to hold it too.
Oh, yeah.
I've done so many panels where it's like, we like this thing.
No. Let me tell you a story.
We'll geek out. now.
Right before Comic-Con San Diego, I went to Hector's house to help him prepare some prototypes, and we were in his garage. And Hector's garage is like, holy crap, dude. The stuff that is buried in boxes is like grail material. And so I'm rummaging through like this box of like 3D print prototype things, and I'm like, holy crap, and there's a Slimer. And I go, oh my God, dude. He's like, oh yeah, Slimer. Dude, I have that Slimer. It is so, the fact that that exists, I'm holding, I'm like, oh my God. It's so cool. So yeah, we geek out really hard. The hardest thing about this job is working on something and knowing it's going to be a little while before you actually.
Yeah, that's the toughest part because we see this stuff way early in advance. We're conceiving it. We're building line plans, whatever it is, and it's like, oh man, that doesn't come out until 2026. I can't hold it. Until,
I know.
I can't have
Hold it on camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, do you have an estimate for these guys? When might people get to hold these themselves?
Yeah, so Peter Venkman and Sam Hain are actually going to be coming out very soon, like in 2 weeks soon. So just so you guys know, if we're hearing it here first. Then we're going to be releasing the other Ghostbusters every couple of months next year. So beautiful. Egon and Boogeyman, which we announced at Comic-Con. Yeah, that's going to be early next year, and then each of the other Ghostbusters will follow. We have some other surprises too. We haven't fully shown everything. We've got some big surprises too, that we'll announce next year, hopefully. So, but yeah, we're really excited about this line. This is a dream come true. Like Peter said, Alex Brewer willed it into existence, and it's just a testament for any artist out there that if you work on your stuff and you put it out there for people to see, you never know. You never know if something is gonna blow up online, or if a company like us, or like we're just like fans, and find your work and ask you to come work with us. Like, it just a testament to don't be afraid to put your art out there because it's important.
I'll give you an addendum to that, actually. In fact, right now we are working on a top secret project with a brand new sculptor who was inspired by Alex.
Oh yeah, good point.
And saw that, and he reached out to me and he said, hey, shot in the dark, I saw Alex do this, and I'm a sculptor who works on 3D software for like car maps, for the consoles and all that, but I've always wanted to be in toys. I've sculpted these figures, and I don't know if you guys are ever going to do anything with this IP, but if you do, I'd love to help out. It just so happened that we are working on that IP, and we were getting ready to start it, and the figures he submitted were awesome.
Right.
And so this gentleman is going to get his official first start in the toy industry with the IP that I can't say yet, and because he saw Alex and heard us talking about it, he's like, screw it, I'm going to do it too. He worked on the weekend like you. Both of you guys need help with the social life, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it going. And but it's amazing work, and Alex did that. He inspired this person to change their life, and it's amazing. It's the best story of the year, in my opinion.
That's so special. Again, the fandom radiates, so I love that that's even growing out in other fandoms. So make stuff, you never know.
Yes.
That's so cool.
100%.
Exactly.
Oh, clap up for Alex, dude.
Not only only making art, but birthing future artists. Hell yeah.
100%.
Let's go from ghosts to full-on nightmares. This has been staring me in the face this whole time. Let's talk about these nightmare vessels. This is exciting.
All right, I'm gonna talk, and Hector, you unbox.
I'm gonna unbox one because I think the unboxing experience is a big part of it.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, so we talked, one of the first things we talked about when I got to Mondo a couple years ago was like, man, we gotta have something cool to come out during the Halloween season. Like that's Halloween-y, you know, like, and Halloween, yeah. And my wife Gabby and I, we love collecting vintage Halloween decorations, like old blow mold stuff from the 80s, and we love all that retro stuff. And so we also, like we told you, Hector and I love soft vinyl figures. And so we said, what if we come up with a product that's like, you get a vessel, right, a container, and you open it, and you have figures inside. So it's like this whole thing. So the Nightmare Vessels is born of that. It's a blow mold container, in this case for Halloween 2. It's based on that
Iconic movie poster for
yes.
Halloween 2.
Right, the movie poster with the skull jack-o'-lantern, right, that we all loved as kids on the VHS. And so you'll open it, you'll rummage around through pumpkin guts in this case.
And it's the same experience. It gets all over the place. It's
Yes.
stuck in your hands.
Less sticky.
Yeah.
And then, and so you'll dig through and you're gonna find little black bags in there.
Little
And you'll
baggies.
pull them out, and then you're gonna find, a soft vinyl Michael Myers figure in there, some great accessories. But the whole idea is to not just make premium collectibles that you get and you put on your shelf or you put on your desk or whatever it is. We want to try to figure out a way to bring fun and play back to high-end collectibles. You know, yeah. Hey guys.
Exactly.
But he does.
Yeah.
He's not trying to stab you.
This is what happens, like you can't get a Nightmare Vessel and not have the play experience opening. It's just fun. And so a lot of times we make these killer 1/6 scale, Skeletor, or whatever it is, and like you open it and it's very precious and you're just very careful with it and you get a good pose and you pose it and you're happy with it. But the idea is, can we apply the sensibility of play to a premium collectible? You don't usually associate that. So this is us exploring that territory, and Hector's already zoned out, and he's literally playing.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't hear anything.
In his happy place.
It's like, oh, yes.
And at the end of the day, when you're done, you literally have two collectibles there. So you have the vessel itself, which is an awesome, Halloween decoration if you're not brave enough to leave it up all year like we do, and an awesome Safubi figure there right next to it, so you can display them side by side. They fit perfectly in those IKEA cube shelves. Believe it or not.
It's so funny when we were talking about it. That was one of his things, and he was like, "We gotta make sure it fits in the IKEA shelf."
That was for me.
Just for him. There was no other reason.
No.
He wants him in his IKEA shelf.
You know what would have happened? We would have accidentally made it like a millimeter too big.
Yeah, it's like,
and like, that's so stupid. Like, everybody has these. They're great for putting like stuff in. Like, just make it so that they both fit right in, and you don't have to worry about it. Like, it's perfect. So then when we have more vessels come out, someone could potentially have like one of those things filled with vessels, and they look really cool.
Speaking of more vessels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there perhaps ooh, look at that.
So it's not always a pumpkin. People were asking. It's not always.
Yeah. So it's not. Yeah. So we're taking iconic parts of the movie or just anything, right, to really create these vessels. And American Werewolf is one of our favorite movies, one of my favorite Halloween movies. And the Kessler Wolf is such a great design that it was the most obvious choice to turn his head into like this kind of blow molded, retro looking Halloween decor.
Yeah, and it's a fine line because it has to look awesome, right? It has to look like it holds up with the rest of your collection, but it still has to feel a little retro. So it's
right,
like,
and that's the hardest thing to do is to pull back. Like when we first sculpted this, it was really complex and it was
really realistic.
It was it basically looked like the Kessler Wolf, and we had to be like, no, this is a ghost.
It has to feel like it could have come out in '83.
So I had to go in, I re-sculpted a lot of it just so it could kind of fit this mold of like, it has to feel like a retro.
Yeah. So this one's actually going to come with 2 figures inside. Each of them have 2 swappable heads, so it's 4 potential figure options.
Yep.
And so again, like you get the vessel, you get the figures, and in my head, it's like we want to introduce our friends who collect, vintage Halloween decorations to soft vinyl figures.
Yep,
We
and
want
vice
to
versa.
introduce our friends who collect soft vinyl figures to the great, retro Halloween decorations. So it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
So you can see this downstairs too.
This to me is that looks like a frame in a VHS. If you had a frame to it. You mentioned 83, which I love because that's totally this vibe.
Yes.
But might we also have a nightmare that is arriving sometime before Christmas?
Ah, I like that segue. This is why you're a pro, Gordon.
Wow, that was a great segue.
This guy again, he's good. Yeah, so we're gonna keep. What?
It's true.
Oh yes, yes, yes. We are gonna go further in the line, and the next one is gonna be based on the Nightmare Before Christmas. So
Not exactly the next one.
Oh right.
We have some other ones we're working on.
Oh okay.
But this is a big one, right?
Yes, it's a big one. All right, so yeah, there's one big one coming. Disney was like super excited when they saw these. They're like, "Do you want to do something with our stuff?" We're like, "Yes."
Maybe.
I love that you have Paramount being like, okay, and then Sony's like, you should.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
problem to have.
That's literally our job with our licensing team. The licensing team goes to bat for us. They go, "Look at how cool this stuff is," and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we're good. We'll do it." Yeah.
Yeah, so we're really excited. I mean, you can probably think of like the possibilities here, but venturing out into more than just old school 80s horror, 70s horror, into something from the 90s, something that's a fan favorite, something dear to close to all of our hearts, right? Is going to be really cool.
All right, so now here's a bunch of announcements.
Yeah, we talked
back
about
to
up
back.
until Christmas. We're at the end of the year, but you guys want to hear about 2025 because they have. I didn't expect this much, to be honest. When I got the rundown, I was like, okay, we're gonna go there. Please, by all means.
All right, let's kick into it. So first announcement, we're doing gargoyles.
Yeah, 1/6 gargoyles, screen accurate to the show.
Yes.
We're so excited. This is long overdue for us. We've been trying to do gargoyles for quite a long time, and it fits perfectly into the whole what we've done with Batman the Animated Series, what we've done with X-Men the Animated Series, with Spider-Man. So we're continuing that 1/6 scale animated that we're really known for, and just done here at Mondo, I think the best.
Oh yeah.
So really excited for gargoyles. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and like I said, it's really accurate to the cartoon. We're painstakingly careful to reproduce that look.
Yeah, we're grabbing so many little Easter eggs from the shows. Like we're doing deep dives. Like it's gonna be cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, wait till you see it. Goofy movie. So you may have seen at Comic-Con or this year we launched a product category called Mondo Squads. So Mondo Squads for us is an opportunity to get a bunch of characters from a certain show all together in one box and with a lot of accessories, and so you can kind of have like a mini collection
In one go.
box, right? So we launched Daria and Jane,
All Real Monsters.
All Real Monsters recently, and Goofy Movie is going to be the next Mondo Squad, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, really excited. Power line.
Power line.
Power line. That's all I'm gonna say.
You gotta have power line.
Power line's gotta be in it.
All right, this one's a surprise. We are working really, really hard on some really freaking cool stuff with Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
Yeah. This is near and dear to my heart because, little secret, I used to play this game quite a lot.
The way he talks about it sounds like he still plays.
I still play. Yeah, that's true.
That's the big secret.
You should have
I just admitted, yeah.
should have been in the meeting when Hector is like got like a bunch of us gather around. He's like, "All right, guys, so Yu-Gi-Oh." I used to work at GameStop selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards to kids, so I was already a little old for it.
Or to me as an adult.
Yeah. And so like I'm like kind of like unaware of the intricacies in it, but we all gather around because we want to do it right. And Hector's like, okay, here's what you got to know. Here is this character, Blue Eyes White Dragon. He's awesome. And then this, and then that. We're like, oh, okay, we're ready. And now we're working on, in my opinion, like some of the coolest stuff. Like, can we say?
Yeah, we can say something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, so we're going to be teaming up with the Yu-Gi-Oh folks, not only for collectibles, but for posters, and we're going to be doing something really special. I don't know if I can actually say that part.
Okay, if we're not here next year, it's because we got fired for saying this. So we're going to be reproducing the original cards.
Yes.
Full size, large, front and back.
We have a very limited time to do it, but
This guy up front is not excited at all.
we're going to be doing some of the more iconic characters, and iconic cards from the original release, and we're really excited to just do the Mondo treatment of our beautiful screen printed posters at the scale that we do, and for the first time officially having those cards blown up in such a way that has never been done before.
There's a red dot on your chest.
Yeah, no, the Yu-Gi-Oh people are coming for me now. They're like, you should.
Yeah, so we're going to be exploring the print side of things. We're going to be doing some soft vinyl
Figures, yeah.
They're already being worked on. It looks so gnarly. And someone who never collected that stuff, I think they're rad. So I think you guys are going to be really stoked. All right.
Next one.
Naruto.
You can tell the same story that you just told me. That was basically the same.
Well, apparently, do you know how many episodes of Naruto there are? Does anybody know? How many episodes are there?
It's like, well, between Naruto and then Shippuden, it's like maybe 1,000.
So when I'm like, I should probably watch a few episodes to catch up, he's like, there's 1,000. And I'm like, it's not happening. But luckily, Hector's an absolute expert. We got some people on the team who are like love Naruto, and we are working on some awesome.
Yes, we're
Awesome
doing
stuff.
we're going to be doing some amazing posters for Naruto. We're going to be doing some soft vinyl figures and articulated figures.
Yes.
So yeah, just keep a lookout because I'm so excited.
I know.
It is one of my favorite animes of all time. Thanks to my wife, when we were during COVID, I was a Dragon Ball guy. I was like, Dragon Ball, that's the stuff. And then she was like, no, you need to watch Naruto. Like, Naruto's better. I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then, no, it's not. But then, we're all locked down, and she's like, you're gonna watch all of the episodes, and we did that. And then I was hooked. I got so into it, and I might say it. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but it was pretty good. It was really good. Yeah, another red dot.
Yeah, I know.
It's just Dragon Ball Z fans, though. It's just,
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
they're like, you.
Now, this last one, is this one okay to talk about? But I want to tease it. We have the one more? Is that
we have one more.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite fandoms out there, and it was disrespected for a long time, and it's now back to being one of the great horror franchises ever. And the movie that happened this year, the fact that a new generation, yes! We're back. Xenomorphs are back to being scary.
You guys have no idea how cool the thing that we're doing is with Alien. You're not ready. How many people grew up collecting toys in the 90s as kids?
Woo! Yeah.
Maybe you remember a certain line of like Alien figures from the 90s? Yeah? You're thinking about it? Can we say anything?
Yeah.
Oh, then say it.
Yeah. Well,
Say it.
I thought we were gonna say it. That's
Go.
Oh, you're queuing it up.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We're hopefully this one of many things.
Get under the table, just.
One of many things we'll be doing with Alien and Aliens. But the big thing that I'm really excited about, like Peter was saying, is we are going to be remaking and basically a very similar idea of what we did with the Turtles with the original Kenner line of the 90s. So you're going to see some of those amazing, like weird alien aliens that were some of my favorite toys. I still have them on my desk.
Yes. Well, when we found out we were able to do this, I was in Pasadena for Monsterpalooza, and we were at a vintage toy shop, and I found them all. And I'm like, I'm going to expense this whole set. We need this as reference material. That's cool, right? Executive team, cool. Yeah. Oh, I bought the whole set, sent them to Hector for review. And so when you see the first one, are we saying what the first one is yet?
We can say.
You say it.
Okay, so, part of the story was he sent me this whole set, but it was missing one. And I was like, oh, Peter, that's so awesome. You're so nice. Thank you. Thank you for this whole set. But it's missing one. It's missing like my favorite. So it's funny because I told him, it's missing this one. So I went and bought it. And then
I also went and bought it.
I also went and bought it. And then he shipped it to me. And they both arrived at the same time. And I was really confused because he didn't tell me he had done it. It was the Mantis Alien. Which is one of my favorite toys ever. And so the first one we're going to be working on is the Mantis.
It is so gnarly. James Groman designed it. Are we saying anything about the accessories?
Well, it comes with a face hugger.
Yes.
And it comes with Hicks. It comes with Corporal Hicks.
Yep. So it's a really, really awesome set. You guys are gonna love it, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I really hope we can go deep into that line.
Yeah. So as we do these, the first set will come with the Marine, and so as we do each of these aliens, they will also come with another Marine. So I can't wait to get the Bishop.
I can't wait.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, super excited. Can I design one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Attack Peter Alien announced right here.
Yeah.
So
He's already working on it. We know.
Just in the weekends, you've claimed everyone else is doing. You're like, oh, by the way, also.
He needs to get out.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 2 mics right here. If you guys want to line up for questions, if you have questions, and also if you guys want to talk about, this is probably the most I've seen in a panel for a giveaway. I'm really excited. We teased it at the top, but if you guys want to talk about some of the stuff that's going to be...
Yeah, we got some good stuff here, and if we like your question, we'll hook you up with something. So all you gotta do is line up if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts on it, we will be awarding gifts.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Some good gifts, yeah.
Basically everything
here
here
you see, we've got a Warriors poster, we've got a Scareglow soft vinyl, we're giving away a Nightmare Vessel, we're giving away the Turtle box set, and we're giving away some records. Is that it? Or is it
A round
I'm
of
gonna wrap
applause for
this
Jesse
up.
Crumb.
I will post more if anything comes up in terms of the
Anybody
Q&A.
at Mondo
Later.
is Brad. It's Jesse.